you got to make mistakes in order to learn about finances, because finances are like anything else. I mean, just like this podcast, you listen to my first one, it's not as good. I'm getting better. Hopefully in another year, I'll be better. You have to make mistakes. You have to learn what is right for you and what your money life is going to look like. And you're not going to know that unless you actually experiment with things. I just want you to think positively about what you're doing. You know, I mean, you might be broke, but if you've got like little kids at home, you know, you're in a whole nother stage of just making sure that your kids are great and that you're there for them. And you aren't going to be giving 100% to earning money. And you're not going to be able to give 100% to managing your money, but you can give some of your effort. Welcome to the Unconventional Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Moses, certified financial planner, licensed realtor, and founder of Me Financial. If you're an accredited investor feeling overwhelmed by managing your portfolio and looking for alternative investment strategies that go beyond the traditional stock market, you're in the right place. Let's head into today's episode so you can start taking control of your financial future. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I am Michelle Moses, your host. I am a certified financial planner, realtor, and former e-commerce store owner. And today we are going to be talking about money mindset and how to get in alignment with your money. I get a lot of people that come to me and they are feeling guilty. I think that's a huge, I don't know if it's an issue or just a common problem that people have in general. But they feel guilty about the things that they've spent their money on, or that they've been irresponsible with it, that they've made bad investments, that they've given their money away, or they spend too much. I am here to tell you that every single person on this planet feels guilty about money. I mean, even if you've got boatloads of money or you don't have any money, I mean, you feel guilty about the way that you're spending it. And so I'm kind of hoping that through this podcast, I can just give you some tips of ways to easily feel better about your money. And just, you know, like if you're having a panic attack about your money, just ways that just little simple mindset tricks that you can get back into the swing of things. Because what I've learned over the years, it doesn't serve you any good at all to sit and be in that guilt and to sit there and beat yourself up. That's the way we should say it. It does no good. And for you to sit there and be worried about money, it's not going to bring more to you. What's going to bring more money to you is being positive about your life and feeling good about it and feeling like you're making some steps and giving hope. I say that a lot with like dating with my friends, that, you know, as long as you've got someone to date and there's hope, or there's at least like somebody out there that you're kind of interested in, then you feel okay about dating. And I feel like it's the same way with money. If you have some hope that, hey, I just shopped around for my health insurance and I'm saving $200 a month, or I am working towards a new program or something at work where I might get a raise, and you're feeling valued, that all feels good, right? I mean, that is kind of the space that you want to be in. You want to be in a space of, I'm doing something, I'm taking control of my life. And that is something that really bugs me online, is the victim mentality. And I know that we all do this, but the victim mentality is used a lot to sell us stuff. And all it really does is create guilt and shame. And I'm going to go over a couple of the just social media posts that I saw over the last week. Honestly, I didn't even go back that far. And it drives me nuts. I really hate the way that people try to make other people feel guilty in order to sell things or to get you to subscribe to a newsletter. You know, you really want to protect your mindset, right? I mean, I think with anything, it's protecting like your mentality, your consciousness. And when I say that, I think of Deepak. But you want to protect all of that. That's what you're trying to do, is maintain that positivity. So then you can try to build on it. You know, if you're doing something, I mean, take me, for instance, you know, I had my business, I was feeling stagnant. And so then this podcast comes along and I'm like, oh, I'm doing something. I'm meeting people. I'm out there and I am trying something new. And when you have that feeling, even with just your money, I mean, even if you're trying to budget or you sit down and actually think about your money. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about is getting in alignment with your money. What I mean by that is, are you doing what you want with it? And at any point in time, so I'm torn because sometimes, I can talk to people that have no money and sometimes I can talk to people that have a lot of money. But I think this applies to everybody, is that you getting into the right mindset about it, you can get in alignment with your money and you can be giving away $3 or $5. You can be giving away thousands of dollars. It doesn't matter how much you're making or how much you have. It's really all in the action of it and how you're feeling when you're doing it. And I don't know that there's anything else to say about that. I hope that there's some examples that you can go back to in your life to think about how you felt like when you feel really good about giving a gift and when you feel like, oh, I really can't afford this. And when you get in alignment with your money about, hey, I really want to give some money away to animal charities. That's my thing. If you follow me online, I post a lot about animals. And that is one of my things, is I really like to do that. And I also like to support my friends. So if my friends ever send me something that says, hey, I'm raising money for such and such, I want to be able to give them $100 or $50. And so that is something that's important to me. So I think it's really important that you sit down and you get in alignment with your money. And that means, what is your dream life? And even if you can't have that dream life, how could you do a little bit of that now? And that's where you're going to build. That's where you're going to have that hope that I was talking about. So if you say, I'll just use me for an example. I could spend thousands and thousands of dollars. My dream is honestly spending $4,000 or $5,000 just on like my body and my clothes and my accessories and facials and massages and skincare and hair care. I know that sounds like a lot, but once I added it up, I was like, damn, that's a lot of money. And so I don't spend that much. It's definitely an area that I need to control. But I do some of it. I will get a massage every once in a while. I do go get a facial every once in a while. And so whatever your thing is, maybe you like to buy sneakers. Okay. So buy some sneakers every few months. And maybe you don't need to buy them new. Maybe you could buy them online on eBay or something like that. So finding ways to get the essence of what you want, I think, is really, really important. And that will put you in the right mindset of, hey, I'm being responsible. I am in control. You are not a victim to whatever is happening to you. And this is so important if you want to feel like you're getting somewhere with your money. It's just the way that you want to be every day. I do have a client where whenever she is getting upset about money, she has like a little Post-it she's older and going into retirement, but she has a list of all the income that they have coming in every month. And so it might be like a pension or what we have coming from their accounts. And then they're getting paid off from some of these businesses. And anytime she's feeling stressed, she looks at that and is like, okay, it's all okay. Because she's okay right now. And if you've ever read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, that's really all that is you're getting back into the moment. Am I okay right now? And I know this is kind of going off on, it might seem like a tangent, but it all kind of goes together because people write to me and they're like, well, I made such a bad investment in, medical marijuana, and then I lost my shirt, and then I made an investment in this company and I lost everything. Everybody loses money. Everybody. I invested in medical marijuana. I invested in oil and gas. I've lost my shirt on that a couple times, but I've also had some home runs. And you got to make mistakes in order to learn about finances, because finances are like anything else. Just like this podcast. You listen to my first one, it's not as good. I'm getting better. Hopefully in another year, I'll be better. You have to make mistakes. You have to learn what is right for you and what your money life is going to look like. And you're not going to know that unless you actually experiment with things. And we're taught these things that if you lose any money or if you make any of these wrong decisions, it's honestly, it's like the end of the world. I mean, and I know I get that way. I always tend to not lose, but like spend like $1,000 frivolously. Like we moved to Kansas City and I renewed my tags here in Arizona, and it was $800 down the drain for 2 weeks of having tags. And I beat myself up about it for like 2 months. I was like, why the heck did I do that? And I know that we all have examples like this of just stupid money that we just wasted. And I'm here to tell you that everybody does it. And no matter what you see on the outside of somebody driving a nice car or anything, and if you go back to my credit episode, you will hear how nothing is what it appears. And so I really just want you to go back to what is important to you and get back. Like if you're starting to feel guilty, you got to switch it. You've got to switch your mindset to what is working right. And back to the mistake thing, I just read Adam Grant's book, Hidden Potential. And that's one of the things he has in there is that he talks about people learning languages. And the number one instance of them learning the language the fastest is making the most mistakes. So the more mistakes you make, the faster you're going to learn. And I think that honestly applies to anything. And reading his book has actually given me more motivation to do this podcast and to do other things, other business things that I'm doing, and to mess up, because it truly is what you have to do. I mean, I have to listen to this and listen to my voice. And I said, and so I say that a lot. See, I was about to say it again. And you're just trying better every time. And it's the exact same thing with money. Just try a little bit better next time. And you might be able to wait 2 more weeks until you buy that cashmere sweater. And you might be able to wait another week until you go and get the pedicure that you were putting off. Just little things like that. And you're going to feel like you're in control of it rather than it controlling you. And that's where we get, is that we think we're just in this like sea of, we're just in this, you're in a boat and you're in a sea of stormy waters and you're just out of control. And I'm telling you, the way that you can get in control is to get in there and pay attention to your money and make some action. And even if it's, I'm going to merge these 2 Roth IRAs together so that I don't have 2 accounts at, one at Vanguard and one at Fidelity. That is taking action. That is you feeling like you are taking part in your financial world. And so I want to go into some of the social media things that I see, because I think it's also important to protect your mindset. And I think this is going to become even more important, you guys, from what I see from VR sets and, just all the gaming and how much we're online with our phones and computers. I mean, obviously it is awesome. All this AI, I mean, there is so much that is just so awesome. But we are going to have to be able to step back and control our mindset and our consciousness, our minds. It's going to become very important. I really believe that it has been like this fitness thing of, we need to protect what's in our bodies. I think in the next 10, 15 years, it's going to become, you need to control what you're putting in your brain, because we all know what you put in your brain is what's going to come out your mouth. It's what you're thinking about. When I got off Twitter, I stopped being so worried about the world. I mean, I really was getting paranoid. And so I can see how these people that watch the news all the time, that they get so paranoid that they go out and, do something crazy. So I just think it's really, really important that you protect your mindset. And, it's just like what people talk about. Watch who you hang out with and what they're, how you feel after you're hanging out with certain people, how you feel after you spend money doing something. It's all about awareness and, do I feel good doing this? Do I want to go return what I bought? Sometimes I do that where I think yes, these are, whatever, the pants that I wanted, and no, I need to go return those. That happens. But then there are the instances where you do make a mistake and you got to get over it. I mean, that's just you just need to keep moving forward and know that you're learning that I don't want to do that again. And so I'm going to make a different choice, and I'm going to start learning about money, or I'm going to hire someone, or I'm going to go online and have someone pick my investments. All of those things you do not need. And in today's day and age, especially when you're investing like your 401k, your Roth, any of those, people think that you should know what stocks. And I love these posts. I'm kind of jumping into the social media, but the posts where it's like, if you bought Apple 20 years ago and put $10,000 in, this is how much you would have. Okay, what a way to make people feel like crap, honestly. I mean, that I can think of no worse headline because most of us did not buy Apple stock. Most of us didn't buy Amazon or hold it. I mean, even if you bought it at $20, most of us would probably sell it at $100. We wouldn't hold it until it was at $3,000. So it's just, those kinds of headlines are just media. They're just trying to, get you to click on it just as something to read. But you need to be aware of what you're doing to yourself and you're shaming yourself. You're making yourself feel guilty. I should have been and I should have done this and I should have done that. And you didn't. And so what? I mean, you got to move and you just we're here now. And so what are you going to do differently? What did you learn from it? And then what are you going to do differently going forward? So these are just a couple of the, social media posts that I have seen in the last couple days. One was every morning a new retirement plan, and they wanted you to sign up for their newsletter. Okay, I can think of nothing more stressful than to have a new retirement strategy every single morning. I mean, that would be so confusing because that's what's confusing about finance is person A over here is buying stocks, person B over here is buying indexes. And then the other person over here is just putting it into their target date fund, the 2030, and they're just kind of just ignoring it. Which one is right? Whatever one you feel good about and you can sleep well at night, that's the right one. So not everybody is going to be a stock picker. Honestly, the only people I think that should be in individual stocks are the people that follow it all the time. I know people that is their life. Every day they're getting up and they're checking the stock market. They're checking their stocks. They're reading about the industries that they're interested in. Cool. They should be in stocks. But if that's not your life and you work a full-time job, then you need to set it and forget it. And you need to feel okay with that. And I'm only telling you that you feel guilty is because you're reading all of these things that say, if you would have invested in Apple stock 20 years ago, that's the only thing that's making you feel guilty is that marketing message. And I'm here to tell you that it is okay to just pick the target date fund in your 401k and just save as much as you possibly can and pay attention to where your money's going. And that is going to take your mindset so much further than any other stock pick or knowing and research that you can do. And honestly, my experience is that the more you let it go and the more that you don't touch it, the better off you are. And so if you're even just putting it in the index funds or the mutual funds, I see tons of people that retire doing that. And the difference is that they ignore it and they're just focused on making money and not spending a lot of money versus whatever their income is. And that's how they make it. And they just keep going. They're focused on making money. And I'll never forget when a client said this to me because money just shows up for her. And we were in a meeting and they were getting ready to retire. And she said something to the effect of, well, it's always there. I always have money whenever I need it. It's just always there. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks of this is why money just comes to her is because she just expects it. And she's just living her life. And she lives pretty frugally, she's not trying to go out and spend a ton of money or anything like that, but she just lives with the expectation it's all okay. And that's where you're trying to get to so that you can then go through life thinking clearly, right? And so that you can then make decisions that you're feeling good about. Another headline that I've got is, and I love this one. So, and most of this is from influencers trying to sell their their course or sign up for my newsletter or something like that. From November 2nd to December 2nd, my business made $200,000. There were no Black Friday deals. And these are all on different lines. So you can see it with the spaces, right? What I did, shut down my agency, launched a new product, and stopped doing 80% of what I was doing. Subscribe now. Okay, again, a whole nother thing of I need to be doing this. He's doing it the right way. And I can also tell you that most of these people are lying, especially from what I have been researching a lot the last couple months, is these people that specialize in online businesses, they are screaming from the mountaintops that most of these people are lying about these posts about how much they make just to get you to buy. And I think that's what we're starting to realize is online. It's a lot of people that are just lying to get you to watch, to get you to click, and buy. And I think it's really sad because I'm a really honest person. And now what's happening online is I'm starting to realize that I don't believe anything that I see. And maybe we need to get to that point. I don't know. I trust very few people because I do think that they are massaging the numbers, or they're massaging what their business is actually doing, or the time that they're spending. And yeah, I just think that we need to question it, and that will go and help you with your money mindset. So, I mean, really, the whole gist of my podcast today is really I just want you to think positively about what you're doing. I mean, you might be broke, but if you've got like little kids at home, you're in a whole nother stage of just making sure that your kids are great and that you're there for them. And you aren't going to be giving 100% to earning money. And you're not going to be able to give 100% to managing your money. But you can give some of your effort. But, a lot of your effort is in having your little kids and, getting them to school age and all of that. And so it's just, you can't always be comparing yourself to others. And I know that we hear this all the time, but then the step to get you into the right mindset is to kind of focus on what's going right, or take some action. Take some action towards whatever is in alignment with what you want in your life. And so if you want to be able to give money away, or you want a bigger house, or it might be, I want to be able to create generational wealth for my family. Okay, then start doing that. And even if you're doing $25 a month and you set up the account, like, hey, I set up the account. I know that maybe in a year I can start, adding some more to it, and it will start to build on that. And I'm telling you, almost 100% of your money is paying attention to it, knowing where it goes, and knowing kind of what you like and where you want to go is most of the deal. And sometimes it's just going to take longer. Like some people, it'll take, messing up through all their 20s and 30s in order to figure that out. And then other people are just kind of born with it. So I hope that this makes you feel better, that everybody makes mistakes, and just keep moving forward. And I just think money is so, it's just entrenched in so much of what we have. I mean, it dictates the people that you hang out with, the car you drive, the neighborhood you live in. I mean, just so much of what your daily life is. So I get people's obsession with it and why they don't feel like they can make any mistakes with it. But the only way you learn is through mistakes. And so when you make a mistake, or look back on those mistakes that you made, and then just say, what do I want to do differently? I mean, just kind of like how you would with your kids, did you learn from this? Okay, how would you do differently? And it might take you a couple times, sometimes it just takes us a couple times. But it's just the way humans are, and money is no different than anything else. With eating, you don't figure it out right away. You got to try all these different things, and different things work for different people. And it's the same thing with money. Different kinds of strategies are going to work with different people, and that's why I have a job. I have a job because I listen to people, and then I put, I go into the toolbox and I put all these things together of what would work for them and what is their priority in life. And if you're out there trying to figure that out on your own, then yeah, I give you kudos to listening to this. So hopefully you've learned something, and then hopefully you're listening and reading other things so that you can do it in your life too, or you're calling someone to help you. So I really hope that this helped you feel a little bit better. That's what I want with this podcast, is I want people to feel better about money and their life and their lifestyle, and just about themselves. So thank you so much for listening, and be sure to tell your friends and to subscribe. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to the Unconventional Investor Podcast. I hope you feel more confident in how you can grow your wealth using the strategies I shared in this episode. If you're ready to take the next step in diversifying your portfolio outside the stock market with alternative investments, head to mefinancial.net/contact us to book a 15-minute consult call with me. Let's discuss how we can work together to achieve your financial goals. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode.